Hello, this is Judy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be about the Eat, Play, Love card making workshop. Now, Close to My Heart puts out a workshop each month for their new collections, and you can make 16 cards, 4 of each of 4 designs. In this workshop, I only made 1 of each design. I really like the cherry design. I'm a fan of cherries, one of my favorite fruits. But this is a really cute card workshop. So whilst I'm putting them all together, I'll go ahead and describe what you're doing. I did not go through the cutting instructions because they're pretty self-explanatory. I do have a Workshop Guide 101 cutting instruction video in my YouTube video collection, so you can go look for that, and it's very easy to find and follow through, although it's an older collection that walks you through the steps. Now, I sometimes go off their cutting instructions. For instance, they have one card that is a full size card layer, and I usually like to leave a little bit of a border around my card, so I cut it down, and I'll talk about that. So this is card 1, and I'm going through and inking all of my edges. I love to ink my papers. I think it adds a better definition of the layers and just adds that little extra touch. But of course, that is up to you, and if you don't like to ink, don't. If you like to journal, make doodle lines, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. And this is what I like, so that's what I do. And I will add ink all different ways, run it along the ink pad, using a sponge dauber, whatever I have out at the moment. Sometimes I'll do one, sometimes I'll do another. It's, whatever works for me. So card number 1 that I'm putting together here, the red layer is 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. The lemonade check pattern is 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. And the lagoon layer is 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then you have 2 white pieces. The one that is going to be doodled with a journaling line, which is the emphasis for this workshop. Every workshop, Close to My Heart, tries to do a teaching. They gear their workshop towards one thing of teaching. Like this one is for journaling pens, another one might be embossing folders, another one might be shimmer brushes, one might be stamping techniques. So they try and use it as a teaching tool as well as giving you great cards to use. So this particular workshop, again, is the journaling pen. So the journaled section that will be coming up here is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, which is white daisy. And then you're also going to have that piece that I just stamped with the little tiny cherries that is 2 by 1 3/4. And again, I inked the edge of that cherry panel, the one that's stamped with little tiny cherries that are just adorable, if I gotta say so myself. I inked the edges with the red just to give it a little more definition, and you'll see in the finished card that it shows up a lot better than it does in the workshop guide. You also have to stamp out your cherries and the word cherry, and it's really neat how they put the cherry die cut or thin cut in between the other stamped images. Now in the workshop it says "I love you cherry much." I changed that to "Thank you cherry much," because I have a lot of needs for thank you cards. So, and the cherry stamps in this set are so cute. You actually stamp the black outline and then use another stamp to add the red color and a leaf solid image to add the leaf color. So it's like two-step stamping with a thin cut. So it's a neat idea. I like how they put that in there. And my Tabo Mono is running out. My granddaughter went to a crop with me and she went heavy on the glue as much as I told her, use less glue, use less glue. It's hard for them to learn, so it's a good thing this glue doesn't cost much. I didn't mind at all. Alright, I think I'm just about done with this card. I'm going to pop up the cherries, but when the next card comes up, I'll come back on and talk about what is involved with that card. Oh yes, I have to remember to add the glaze, the liquid glass to these cherries, and wait till you see the finished picture here that'll be coming up shortly. Yes, this card I cut the floral piece to 4 by 5 1/4, and the red layer is 2.5 by 3, and the white layer is 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. And that is how Close to My Heart designed it. Oh, and there is a lagoon piece as well that is 1.5 by 4. There's also a couple of little flowers to add. That's from our flower sequins. And you stamp the cherry, the single cherry image, and thin cut it. And you also add a stamp that says "You are so sweet" with journaling around the outside of the white piece. And Close to My Heart puts these cards together in a workshop that they present, and they do step by step of all the cards with you online on a Facebook Live, but they do it later. They try to give people time to order it and get it in their hands before they do the workshop. That's why they're so much later. And there may still be some of these kits available when they do it, because I think this one is scheduled in May, and this catalog with this paper collection will be over by then. So hopefully this will be available if you want to buy it and follow along. But the Facebook Live is quite lengthy, so I thought I would put these together for anyone who wants to see how to do it in a shorter method or shorter way. Now you saw that blue piece, I had trimmed it a little too short, so I just cut it in half there, and then I'm going to put the layers over top so no one will ever know. And that's always a trick I find I have to do, not very often, but once in a while I accidentally will trim it too short for whatever reason, right? Sometimes the trimmer, you don't have it set right and moves slightly, and you know, it's just a good way to know how to fix those little goof ups. But for a little stamp set, well, look at all those images on there. They're so cute too. Oh, and watch how I do these doodle lines. It's a double line and you go up, down, and then cross them and go the opposite way. It's a really cool doodle effect. I use this a lot and just really love the look. That way you try to mess up and not go straight. So if you can't draw a straight line like me, then this is a great way to doodle. Alright, this card, that red piece was supposed to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I cut it at 4 by 5 1/4 so I would have a little white border around the red with the card base, and you'll see that in a minute. But I sometimes, because I want to, cut it like that. I just like the white borders, and that's what works for me. So the 3 panels are 4 by 1 5/8. So you cut 3 of the papers for the panels, and then I'll put the 1 in the middle and then put the other 2 side by side, so that way they hopefully look the best that way, with an even edge around all of them and in between. And then there's also a white piece of white daisy that is 2 1/2 by 1 1/2 that is dovetailed, and then you draw your journaling line around it. And there is the lemonade check that is 1 3/4 by 2 1/2 that is also dovetailed. And there's also a little tiny itty bitty piece, because there is the smallest sentiment on this stamp set that says, "Glad you are in my life." It's just itty bitty tiny, and you'll see that in a minute. I think the paper's like 1/4 by 1 1/4. It's tiny itty bitty. Oh, and there is a lagoon piece that is stamped with hearts all the way across in lagoon ink. And the lagoon piece is 1/2 by 5 1/2. And I think I did cut that so it goes all the way across and covers up part of the white that you'll see. And I like that look as well. So I think that's about it with this card that I have to mention. So Okay, we are on to the last card, and here you will see that I'm using a zip strip piece that is 1/2 by 4, and the floral piece is 4 by 1. The red piece is 1/4 by 4, and the lemonade is 4 by 2 3/4. And there's also a little banner that says "You Bake My Day." I believe that is 1/2 by 2, maybe, and that's dovetailed both ends, and then use the journaling pen to draw around it. And I layered them a little bit different than the workshop showed, but you know, that's again an option that you can do on your own to change it up to meet how you like it. Now we're almost done with this video, and I want to thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you're not a subscriber to my channel. I'd love to have you join me. And if you are a subscriber, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'll try to do these workshops more often. Close-ups will be at the end. I hope you enjoy these cards. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you like these kinds of videos. I'd be happy to do the workshops like this to help anybody who would learn from them. Okay, thanks. Have a great night or day, or whenever you're watching this. Just have a wonderful whatever. Bye.